Welcome to the bonus round, data nerds. You're here because building great software is your passion. You've used data to innovate and solve complex errors. But you know you could be working better. You want to level up your game. You need tools that ingest and prepare all the data you need and bring your team together to solve tough challenges. And you need skills that will help you and your team use your upgrades to defeat the boss-level challenges that await you. And that's why you're here. This is Data Nerd Days 2.0. The bonus round starts now.
Welcome to Data Nerd Days 2.0 bonus round. In video games, a bonus round are typically special levels that reward players and give them a chance to collect extra points or power-ups. And that's what this year's Data Nerd Days is. It's a chance for you, the engineer, the problem solver, the developer, to collect extra knowledge so you can sharpen your data-driven approach to your day job. We built this event from the ground up to help you learn from subject matter experts and peers in the engineering community, not just by listening to a bunch of talking heads, but by actually doing. And today's agenda includes a wide array of topics from various skill levels, from hands-on sessions for beginners who are just starting their observability journeys, to more advanced boss battles for seasoned experts who want to dive deeper into next-level customizations, processes, or cutting-edge technologies. You'll walk away with new insights, best practices, and techniques specifically designed to help you make your life easier as an engineer and make it a bit more rewarding. My name's Jemiah Sias, and I'm a principal product manager, and I have the honor of welcoming you to Data Nerd Days 2.0. We've been hard at work helping you rewrite the future of observability, and I can think of no person better to share our vision and introduce some exciting use cases that we're enabling today than Bill Staples, our CEO and Chief Data Nerd.
Thanks, Jemiah. I'm so inspired by the collective knowledge, creativity, and passion of those that are joining us virtually today. Today's world is powered by modern digital experiences. From connecting with family, friends, and coworkers, to shopping, entertainment, or even going to the doctor, your own routines and the day-to-day routines of your customers, colleagues, and partners rely on things to just work quickly, easily, and securely. And you all are the software heroes that keep pushing the bar of innovation higher, constantly improving and maintaining critical systems and delivering world-class customer experiences. Without you, today's modern digital businesses just couldn't even operate. It's why we fundamentally believe in putting you first. I've come to realize the power of data to guide the difficult decisions and trade-offs that we make daily in our craft. Yet, we often lack the essential data we need and rely instead on poorly informed opinions, or worse, long, arduous alignment processes and meetings. Every engineering team I speak with is hungry for more data to better plan, build, deploy, and run software. They want to do it faster and more easily and efficiently. We're committed to solving that problem for you, so you and your teams can do your very best work based on data, not opinions. That's why at New Relic, we focused on empowering engineers like yourselves with a data-driven approach. We believe in the virtually untapped power of telemetry data and are passionate about making observability a daily practice for every engineer across the software lifecycle. To that end, over the past 6 months, we've been hard at work launching a bunch of really exciting developer-focused capabilities that are designed to help you plan, build, deploy, and run amazing software experiences. Recently, we launched our Pixie integration to simplify how teams instrument and monitor Kubernetes clusters. Pixie provides instant, no-code observability and gives engineers like you code-level insights that you need to debug Kubernetes environments faster. At KubeCon a few weeks back, we launched New Relic Instant Observability, an open ecosystem that helps jumpstart your observability practice by tapping into the collective experience of your fellow software engineers and practitioners. With out-of-the-box instrumentation, alerts, and dashboards For hundreds of tools and technologies that you already use, it's the easiest way to observe your stack like a pro in minutes. To further support engineers, we're championing open source, open telemetry, and open ecosystems to learn from the best practices and insights of our peers. That's why we're committed to contributing to open standards like open telemetry that make broad, ubiquitous, and vendor-neutral instrumentation easy. We natively support OTLP, so you can connect and analyze all telemetry data regardless of its source. And let's face it, one of the most frustrating parts of a software engineer's day job is finding and fixing errors. We've built Errors Inbox, an error tracking solution which takes all the error data that we already collect on your behalf, and we aggregate it and organize it to make it easier for you to triage and collaborate with your team. Finally, just a few weeks ago, we announced a new game-changing developer experience called New Relic CodeStream, which builds on our more than decade-long commitment to application developers. CodeStream connects your application telemetry data directly to the relevant code inside your favorite development environment or IDE. Developers can now instrument systems, collaborate with teams, and debug issues faster and more simply without ever having to leave their flow. It's an industry first, aimed at helping your team come together and build better customer experiences with higher quality code. As you can hopefully tell, I'm really excited about the power data can unlock for all engineers as you plan, build, deploy, and run your software. But don't take my word for it. It's my privilege to invite Ashley Zagorski, a software engineer from Beyond Finance, to talk about her team's experience using some of New Relic's latest innovations. Ashley, welcome.
Thanks, Bill. I'm honored to be here at Data Nerd Days. As a software engineer at Beyond Finance, I love using New Relic as it gives me and my team the data we need to understand our systems better and achieve effective application monitoring. Personally, I have increased comfort when I release new features for my applications, knowing I have New Relic to help monitor the deployment. Using New Relic gives me time back to design and implement new features effectively. New Relic recently assisted in improving our customer experience when customers were reporting issues with logging into one of our applications. Our login process is multi-step, so evaluating where in the login process there was an issue was proving to be tedious and time-consuming. NRQL funnel functions save the day by breaking our login process down step by step. I also enjoy the constant stream of new features from New Relic. When they recently released error tracking with Errors Inbox, our team was particularly excited. Our team was able to take advantage of workloads to group and monitor all services our team is responsible for, so Errors Inbox required no additional setup. We were able to see errors from all our application in one place, increase communication and management of errors amongst our team, and address application issues more proactively and quickly. The integration with Slack really drives my team's use of Errors Inbox. When a new error surfaces or is reopened, an alert is sent to a designated Slack channel. Our team member on production support for the week who is monitoring the channel can click the Slack message and view that specific error's detail in the Errors Inbox. The team member then investigates, provides comments on findings, and manages the status of the error in one place, which has led to faster error resolutions. That was just a small part of how we're using New Relic innovations to improve our developer workflows. Please check out my full session right after the keynote to dive deeper into how my team at Beyond Finance uses New Relic to monitor application health.
I love seeing how data is being used to run a business. Earlier, Bill mentioned our new in-ID observability experience, New Relic CodeStream. It's helping developers collaborate, debug, and improve code in the dev environments where they build software. And to share more about this integration and how it's helping supercharge teams in their software development workflows, I'd like to welcome Peter Pezaris, founder and CEO of CodeStream.
Thanks, Jeremiah. I'm really excited to be here at Data Nerd Days. We started CodeStream because we were struck with the realization that developers didn't have a great platform that facilitated healthy code communication. Understanding code is one of the 3 hardest problems in software development. That is, of course, after cache invalidation and off by one errors. All jokes aside, that's why we built CodeStream, which is a collaboration platform that helps dev teams discuss, review, and understand code. We do this by putting tools like Slack, Jira, GitHub, and now NR1 right into your favorite IDE, in addition to an advanced commenting capability. Ultimately, it's about keeping discussion about the code with the code. What's really exciting about this next phase of evolution for CodeStream is the endless possibilities we've unlocked by joining forces with New Relic. Now, devs can surface production errors and collaborate with those issues, as well as perform daily tasks like code review and issue management entirely within their IDE of choice. This integration removes the friction and sets up dev teams with the data they need to build stronger code. So let's take a look with this demo. Okay, so here I am in my editor. And first I want to cover a use case that existed prior to the acquisition of CodeStream, which is I'm looking at code and I just don't quite understand it. Well, CodeStream makes it super easy to collaborate around code right from your IDE. So I just select the code that I've got a question about, up pops the comment box, and you can see Brian has even been tagged in this message. So I can ask him, how does this work? And because CodeStream integrates with a lot of collaboration tools, in this case, I'll integrate with our Slack workspace on New Relic, and I'll post to any channel I want. In this case, I'm just doing a demo. So I'm just going to post that question. And we can take a look at what that looks like over in Slack to see how CodeStream made my life a little easier. So CodeStream has captured all the context of what I was looking at, and Brian can reply directly from Slack, or he can open it in his IDE and jump right into the context with me. So in this case, we see that Brian has replied. I've got an unread message indicator here. So let me see what Brian says. And he's going to check on it. Great, thanks. And these comments sync in between CodeStream and Slack. So that's an example of the type of collaborative capability that CodeStream had prior to the integration with New Relic. So you see here, we've got a bunch of different sections in the UI. CodeStream also supports pull requests from GitHub and GitLab. For those of you who haven't tried it yet, you got to try this feature. It's an awesome feature. But here's what's new. What you'll see here is I'm taken through this onboarding workflow that will help me instrument my app if I haven't had it instrumented before. So I click on Get Started. CodeStream can auto-detect what type of application I'm building. In this case, it's a Node app. And it walks me through a really simple wizard that gets me up and running with New Relic in no time. So here I'm going to paste my New Relic license key, and it steps me through step by step without me even having to think about anything or download anything. And here it's doing an npm install because it's a Node app, and that's how we inject New Relic into my code base. And once that's done, it'll create a configuration file for me, add a line of code to the root of my app, and it asks me to restart my application, at which point I will be sending data to NR1, which is kind of cool that it's that easy to do. So now I'm going to skip this because I've already done this before. It's not my first time using New Relic CodeStream here. And so now we're in the application again, and I can see all of the most recent errors that are part of the application that I'm building. In this case, is the distributed tracing service. And we're pulling directly from NR1 to show me what the most recent errors are. So now let's take a look over at NR1 and see what that looks like. We've added this new capability where when you're investigating an error, well, the most important thing is the stack trace, because that tells you exactly where the problem lies in your code base. But prior to CodeStream, what developers would have to do is copy this stack trace to their clipboard and then use sort of manual tools to try to poke around in their code base to try to find where the problem is. Well, we've solved this problem, and we solved it in a pretty awesome way. I'm super excited about this because this Open an IDE button takes all the friction out of debugging production errors. Because all I have to do is click this one button, and it'll pop open into my IDE of choice. I've already set my preference to VS Code because that's my favorite editor. If you hadn't set your preference, then it would ask you to pick which one is your favorite. And then once I'm in my IDE, I can navigate the stack trace by just clicking on the different lines within the different frames. And what's really cool about this is that you've already seen how collaborative CodeStream can be. Well, when I see something that may be a problem, I can select the code and I can comment on it. And you can see, in this case, it was Brian who also wrote this code. So I can see, is this the source of the problem? And I can bring in both production and non-production engineers can both collaborate on errors directly from their IDE. And these comments also will flow through back to NR1 on this discussions tab. So it's a great way for production and non-production engineers to collaborate and swarm on issues. Okay, now the last part, which I find to be the most amazing, is we've been able to collaborate with the Pixie team. So here I've switched virtual windows and I'm showing, instead of VS Code, this is JetBrains, for those of you who you prefer that editor. In this case, we're using JetBrains to edit a Go application that I'm running in a Kubernetes cluster. So you can see here over on the left, here's my JetBrains app. Well, I've got the code up and running. And over here on the right, I've got a Chrome window where the e-commerce app itself is executing, and I can click around and see what's going on here. Well, in this scenario, I'm trying to figure out what's happening with this list function and what's going on with it in production. So I can right click, come down to CodeStream and select dynamic logging using Pixie. And you can see up pops this window, and I can connect to the right account in the right cluster using the right namespace and to the pod. And these selections were saved from the last time I iterated. Of course, I can make different selections if I need to. And then I'm asked how long do I want to capture data. So the idea here is that there's something going on with this function and I want to see how it's performing in production. And without having to add any manual logging or printf statements or anything like that, without having to deploy anything to production, I can see how this function is executing in production right from my IDE. It's like magic. So here I'm going to capture for the next 2 minutes. And you can see it's installing the probe. And this is happening in production for me as the developer. It's setting up the schema. And now once it starts capturing data, as I click around and every time this page renders, it's calling that list function. And you can see here in my IDE, the result of each one of those function invocations. And I can see the data flowing through. So if I select to add a tag or to clear this out or to click on different pages, you can see this data starting to flow through so I can debug my production code from my IDE without having to deploy anything. So it's truly magical, and it involves, the heavy lifting was all done by Zane and the Pixie team, so the credit goes to them. But it's a really cool implementation of making it easier to get this production telemetry into the IDE and in front of the eyes of the developer.
Thank you, Peter. I like how CodeStream really cuts down the time from determining the cause of an error to getting the exact line of code I need to change. And the ability to comment on an actual line of code in a way that helps cross teams and future developers understand issues is really next level functionality. Well, I hope you've been inspired by hearing all those stories and use cases. I know I was. We have a ton of amazing sessions today, everything from hands-on content around learning the fundamentals to advanced topics on open telemetry, Kubernetes, and more. So welcome to Data Nerd Days 2.0, the bonus round. I can't wait to see how all of you are going to level up, and good luck.